seems fitting that we're going to be seeing Caboose on the Reyna for, you know, their last foray in this tournament, or at least one of the last two. But I mean, Sully, I also want to get your thoughts on this one as well. I mean, who do you have taking it? I think we talked about it briefly during the downtime, but you know, let's make it official on Mike. Who do you think is going to?
I'm a French Canadian man, so I got to go with my boys in Gen.g.
Of course, I do. I love the French Canadians. You know, I'm good friends with the other French Canadian in Kohler. So I got to go with Gen.g on this one. We'll have to see, though. Terrific together. Starting on the defensive side of Bind. Everything on the line for them. 2 maps to win. It's Caboose will kick that map one off with that first kill. Hopefully goes uphill from here. But what is this? GMD with the nade and with the ghost combines for 2 kills. The trades go back and forth, though. And just like that, we're down to 1 man. And 1 man, it's player 1 who will fall alone for the 1-0 start of Terrific together.
One thing I like about this in this simple abilities, right? We talk about how sometimes it's not about the big frags, it's about abilities too. You saw that first kill. It came with a pistol, but what Caboose did is chose a dismiss to go for a shoulder peek to see if there was more people. When he did that, basically he saw 2 other players and could set it up for his teammates to actually hold the grounds. Good thing though, at least for Guimond to be able to do a paint shell kill, maybe even a double kill towards that garden. But in the end, when they have better positioning on the defender side, they just picked them off, especially with the spike carrier falling down first here, Ito, sorry.
Well, I mean, they're already 1/5 of the way there, which is great, you know?
Yeah.
They're 1/5 of the way to matching that record that they had last time that they met. A little bit of shifting of the drones in midair, something we've seen a couple of times, but the attack are just going to be barreling into the site almost right off the bat. No time to breathe, no time to think about things whatsoever, because already a firing range at the B bomb site is going to mark pretty much the beginning of the end for this round. Quinn is quickly finding himself alone, 1-on-4, excuse me. Almost said 1-on-5, but it looks like there was one unfortunate victim, and just like that, the second round goes just about as smoothly as you would have expected and as you would have wanted. Guns being brought up into this next one, though, I think makes things way more interesting.
Definitely. You're walking into the hookah. You have an owl drone to walk right behind it to cover it, to spot it out for you. But at the same time, you see the opponents coming out. So your cover's been blown. So all you could do right now is hope for a rush inside B and at least get a spike plant. They didn't. They got denied. Everybody under well position again for TT. And now with this gun round, I'm hoping to see something better for Gen.g, but we're seeing at least a strong start right now for Terrific together.
Yeah, the gun round is... Oh, actually, never mind. You take it away. I think you're about to say what I was going to say.
Caboose is, you know, he's got the Marshall. I think we're both on the same page. That Caboose juggles that Marshall. He's ready to take long-range engagements and close-range engagements as the hookah filled by the paint shells. Caboose picks up the Vandal as that finesse picks right off where he left off in the last match. Hookah was his domain, and it is once more 2 kills already. And Gen.g, not the best of starts. Caboose still holds alongside that that B garden wall as Caboose gets another kill. Beautiful stuff. Backs away. Intangible, invincible he is. He still stands strong as he gets another backing away from that. He's a quick headshot and a quick 3 rounds. Easily enough for Terrific together.
Dude, I think at this point, you've tested enough times onto this B bomb site. You wanted to test the waters on the pistol. It didn't work. You wanted to test it on the second round to see how they're playing it. Now, on the third round, on that gun round, you want to bring the guns towards them, knowing how they play to see if they could hold a chance, or if you hold a chance here as Gen.g. They did not. They got denied. I think now it's time to actually look to see how they play towards this A side, especially due to the fact that they currently have a pistol save. So rush again, try to get a spike, try to get some information so you could have a little bit more information on how to play this map on the attacker side, at least against Gen.g.
Such a promising start from Terrific together, I have to say. Again, I was just talking about real quick about how that gun round was going to be important to really kind of decide the pace of this match and how these early rounds go. When from there, they can basically just treat this one as a freebie. Mame will get the first kill to go ahead and start things off on a brilliant note here. The response from Gen.g is pretty slow. They're not going to choose to dedicate to a site just yet here. They're going to be having a conga line formation through the markets while Brimstone is currently sniffing out bathrooms. So an eventual A execute is where I think we're going to be seeing things landing with an APC wall most likely coming through as well. So pretty standard A execute as they will be heading into another firefight once again. It's really going to fall flat on its face here. I mean, I think they're just going to pale in comparison to the rifles that are out on play. I'm actually surprised how has this gone the other way. I'm being caught off guard again. I'm going to be eating my own words. A Ghost and a Sheriff have both found kills so far, and suddenly a 2 versus 3 with the attackers on the foray, on the front line of being able to take this one down and find their first round on the board suddenly seems way more possible.
Where is everyone hiding?
FNS though, he's called upon the neural threat. He's got information as well. That's huge. They know there's one towards you all. They're going to try and split these into 1v2s in their favor, of course, as FNS knows there's a player towards his left, and he spotted it out. First kill. There down goes Mikkel. Effie still, though, has a Phantom to play with, but up against Mummy's Operator, you don't stand a chance whatsoever. So finally, they close things out. It looked like it could have been the first for Gen.g, but still, terrific together, stand strong on Bind.
That was a great way to play a 2 versus 2, especially due to the fact that Finesse got to farm so many kills before, in the 2 rounds before at that B bomb site. A little bit different of how they play, because usually you see a Cypher play solo towards the B side and put a camera up and look for some information, then you stack up on A. It seems a lot of teams right now seem to focus a lot on B. So now you have a change in the meta for at least how this comp is being played by now putting tripwires on the A side, the showers, or towards you, putting a camera as well to get more information towards the showers. You can see probably at this point from the tripwires towards short, and then he rotates over towards B to stack 3 players there. And something that's different too, you don't have that many players stacking inside the hookah either. You're actually using the operator playing towards the back of the site to actually op inside there. Now Caboose, to start things off though, is going to get the first kill into Mikael as he pushed down deeply and gets the dismiss back here inside B, Ethan.
Ooh, very good stuff. Effie, though, he brings him back into the playing field. The Aldrone's been spotted. FNS not phased by it whatsoever. And yeah, 100%. The Mummy's always been that key figure on this defensive side. We're terrific together, maneuvering over towards B, even if he needs to go back towards A. He's been that sole anchor. Sometimes, though, we do see the side of terrific together doubling up in towards hookah, but this time there's nobody in there to stop the zombies pushing on out. GMD gets another as well, and it's not looking pretty for them. Calypso manages to get one, but inevitably goes down to win, as now he's focused everything over towards the hookah position. I can't even get the words on out because it's just so flustered, as Mame, he might just have to save the operator. 2 versus 4, Spike goes down. Surely not a chance in this round that they could pull this one off. They have a pinch in from Akis, but Mame has to kick things off with an opening kill.
Just doesn't seem likely that it's actually going to happen, though. I mean, it might be ending just as quickly as it started. Akis quickly finds himself again the last player left. Wow, I can't talk either, apparently.
It's been a long day, guys. Don't worry, you guys got this.
I know, apparently, but I mean, luckily this round is going to be anticlimactic, so I have a bit of time to gather myself. A very confident first round for Gen.g, I have to say. Sure, a couple of players are tagged down. The stage stays alive. Those heals were huge, I have to say, but I think the ultimates were even bigger from the attackers. In particular, I think GMD, even though he didn't actually get a kill with that, as Soleil likes to call it, a pocket rocket right there, it still did a fantastic job zoning, and he was able to get the paint shell kills pretty much right after.
Exactly. It's not only from that as well, but I gotta say, I agree with you here, Kieran, because it was the pocket rocket that allowed him to get out of hookah. That kind of surprised people because he made it out through the brimstone smoke. And from coming outside, you saw it from his point of view. He saw in that sliver the Empress being ulted by the Reyna just under the window. So that was a call for Sage also to be able to come out to get the kill onto Caboose that allows them to overtake that site very aggressively on just a sole play. So without any kills from the rocket, from the showstopper, you could still move in and get the plant and get the round. So a great play there.
There's just still so much chaos.
Ooh.
Out of charges.
Sloppy so far. What's going on here? So the Hunter's Fury called out, and then a couple of quick smokes go down. It's a mess here already. 3 versus 3. Mame still there with that operator. You've got to be careful. Akis as well. This is a huge flank. He could catch the Sova completely off guard. Win doesn't even have his back open to it. He's exposed. The spike could go down here momentarily. Akis is playing the waiting game. Trigger discipline at its finest. Spike in his sights. He'll drop it on flat on its face. Akis with a huge play. Effie's finally readjusts, but that slow orb has caught him in his tracks as GMD up and towards the hookah. Forced to call upon the action, but no. Calypso's orbital strike perfectly timed and perfectly set up to give Terrific together that 5th round.
What a way to single-handedly get those 2 kills from Calypso. Good job there, but you see the patience that these guys are actually Counter-Strike players. You know when sometimes you see somebody right away, you want to shoot them right away, but he knows it's a spike carrier. He has a chance right now to just look behind to see where the other ones are positioning, trying to clear out the site, thinking that their flank was actually covered. But because he saw his opponent starting to stomp towards his B bomb site to plant, well, basically, it's easy for him to get the kill on the spike carrier and then try to find those last two. But as soon as their teammate fell down, they kind of scrambled around and gave their own positions away. But again, it's the orbital strike that flushes them out like cockroaches to get those kills from Calypso. A great job there.
Yeah, that orbital strike has been monumental in clearing out Hookah in particular. We see a bit of a slower pace from the attackers side of Gen.g this time around. They do have to sacrifice a little bit of artillery in favor of that utility. You see that the Sage is unfortunately stuck on the Ghost. Everybody else has rifles in play. And originally they were setting up for a default, which is something I thought was actually going to keep up for a little bit longer, but they've quickly gathered up over towards A to make a full execute happen. But this setup from the defense is pretty ironclad. Although I can see it being broken, it's going to take a decent amount of time for them to actually weasel their way on through into the site here. Akis, unfortunately, is looking the wrong direction. He needed to have his head on a swivel, but he's going to get it taken right off. Quinn finds the first one. Gorgeous combo. Calypso had no chance right there. Just caught between a rock and a hard place, and he dies to the hard place seemingly here. Now Michael will be taking fights over towards, U-Haul rather, to go ahead and try to even things up, make things a little bit more palatable. But Gen.g, I mean, despite them not exactly having the same amount of artillery as the side of TT, they end up getting out of that one looking incredibly strong.
Yeah, I love it. So they started with brimstone smokes towards the APC side, just to walk slowly up towards teleporter and try to open up U if they can. And at the same time, they have the lurker that's playing towards the showers. If he wins that fight, which he did, could put a Sova arrow, the drone arrow to come out, the recon arrow, there you go, out towards that site to try to spot some players. I think they were able to spot that Cypher, but I don't think they really knew somebody was hiding inside that corner of A. So it was a nice guess to get the kill. And then on top of that, when the smokes dissipates from the brimstone, they still have a late Sage wall to be able to put it up as well to go for a safe plan if they wanted to. So it's a great way to also keep your Sage walls, the ice barriers, later in the round to use that to your advantage. So A site seems to finally be the play for the attackers, but they seem to be focusing on B in this round here.
We'll see what they've got in store, though. Recon Bolt doesn't gather any information, as all 5 players on Gen.g have opted to instead all group up towards long. Caboose, yes, he's in a very clinical angle, but it's kind of one of those one-and-done positions, as he does not even get the first. A nice tag on a Mikkel, but nothing really comes to fruition. The Sage can heal him right back up, so no real ground gain for the likes of Terrific together. The Dink quickly neutralized, as Gen.g will slow things down to a standstill. They still hold that control over towards that fountain. But again, 2 players towards this B bomb site, both split apart. FNS is trying to get some heads off of their bodies, but only gets the one. Quickly traded out back by player 1. Mummy's going to go and try for a fast flank, but I don't think much will come from him. But he is lacking just a tad bit with his share of the bomb, or the spike will inevitably go down towards this B bomb site, and it should be the 3rd round for Gen.g. A phenomenal recovery to get themselves back in this matchup.
Still got it.
Not exactly over just yet, though. 2v4, I mean, in theory, if they can find Huynh over here holding by CT, this is a bit of a dangerous angle. You know, a double commit could easily put him out of commission, but it's not going to happen. Nothing more than a pipe dream, it seems, at the end of the day. And, I mean, Alex, it's continuing. This comeback is actually kind of happening.
Yeah, they're starting to get their groove a little bit more. Like I said, they start to understand a little bit how to penetrate the defense towards the A side, and at the same time, breaking in economy to try to shatter up the dreams and shatter the armor and the wall that they actually built up for TT towards this B side. So now they're going to keep them guessing. They're going to keep them on their toes, and this is going to give a chance for them to, if they ever want to reassess towards B again, they might stand a better chance, because so far when they had gun rounds and trying to move into B, they've been dominated so far by Together We Are Terrific. Maybe this could be the case again, because they are once again using an operator on the top of the site to look into Hookah. So play that very passively and then double up on this garden side. And once again, Gen.g seems to be walking into the same trap that we have the same setup from Pistol.
Owl drone goes in. They're trying to clear out Hookah. Oh, that orbital strike. Caboose is forced to fight or flee, and instead his instinct kicks into fight. He's taken down even before he can make an engagement with a player. Big kills opening things up. GMD wants to quickly put this round to bed with his pocket rocket. Nothing comes from it, though. He will get healed fully back up in a 3 versus 5 retake. They do still have the Sage revive, but I don't think they'll be able to approach Jabadi, as Akis as well has fallen flat on his face. Calypso backs away, and it will be that 4th round. 5 players still standing, 11 HP for win, just barely escaping death. But again, 4 rounds in a row so far for the side of Gen.g, and they're looking strong. They've been able to make this dominant recovery, and Terrific together. I'd be terrified instead of Terrific.
Definitely. I think they're playing very well right now for Gen.g. And again, coming out of this round being flawless on top of that, just the way that they not necessarily knew that they were going to maybe walk into a trap, but they learned their lesson from that pistol round. And they were just able to do a better buddy system and expected probably a Lear that was going to come out from that arena. And they took advantage of that and just dispatched 2 players real quick, or 1 player real quick into B to force even a Cypher to fall back and out of position to just take the site quite easily.
Yeah, this is definitely a little bit more of the trained Gen.g side that I was expecting. I mean, hey, they put their ticket into the grand finals on the winner's side for a reason, and they're looking incredible while doing it. I mean, 5-4, they can already be, I guess, a little bit more happy with this result. You know, this is already the same record that they had last time around that they faced off against Gen.g, but obviously together Terrific. Maybe they're going to try switching something up. Again, you see the Cypher place down a couple of traps over towards A, but maybe a bit of long aggression is going to be on the table for them.
Have to see. This time they've opted to stack 3 players instead. Terrific together, not taking any chances whatsoever, but doesn't look like this is where the execution's gonna be. All of Gen.g starting to slowly back away from that B bomb sit and anchor themselves over towards A. They have got tripwires behind them, and Mummy's here as well. Owl drone spotted, but hasn't spotted him. I don't think so. He's able to back away so far unnoticed. There it is. Now he's definitely been spotted. The recon bolt gives his position away, and Akis has to help his teammate on out here. No rotations in just yet. They're coming in slowly but surely they have to instead of slowly. As Akis pops some caps, he's going to try and get an opening kill. Nice shot to player 1. Mikkel to instantly respond, though, and Mame, now he's all on his own, stuck behind the wall. He's got to aggress. He has to find an opening duel here. Maybe get a kill, a one-and-done position, surely. As Caboose comes in the flank to open things up. Nice shot into win, and Mame still hasn't had a lot to say in this round. Spike hasn't made its way towards that A bomb site, and a very dominant hold so far from Terrific together as they look to get back into it here, Gen.g, but the kills elude them as all 3 finally go the way of Terrific together, and there's the 6th round they were looking for.
Yeah, just a small change that they did on how they wanted to stack the sites. They switched over the Brimstone from A to B and also used the Sova towards this A side. So I guess having the Sova being able to op very aggressively towards that short A was a way that they could actually get a first frag if Gen.g decided to push towards A. They did, but the difference here was that they actually used a recon owl from Hwin that allowed for them to spot the operator and put him out of commission for quite a while to be able to take over the site. The thing, though, is that they wasted a lot of time, and we had the great rotation that came through, and also throughout all of that, somehow the operator was still able to come back towards Heaven's side and still get some picks. So they did some great job to hold that clock down. Meanwhile here, Mummy gets the first kill towards this fountain side, looking for an aggression from Gen.g over towards this B side. Again, Mummy gets tagged, forces away his position, but Caboose is going to play the big game.
Oh my god, Caboose just has an absolutely golden opportunity. It's even checked, but that intangible ends up saving the day. He's gonna go for seconds, but unfortunately he's gonna get chowed down upon. That's surprisingly hard to say. Definitely not gonna put that in my dictionary anymore, but maybe I can put the definition of Calypso as being an absolute terror, an absolute menace to the attackers at the moment, because he will single-handedly pick up 3 players to put it up to a 7-4 scoreline.
But you see how annoying that is, right?
Yeah.
He gets that kill as Caboose onto the spike carrier once again. So Effie's falls. They lose a heal. He gets a dismiss. But you saw just behind him, Calypso and another one was chasing after him just to make sure or try to get a kill as soon as he's out of that dismiss. But Finesse is actually in the corner inside the site watching them and setting up that crossfire. So they're just using the abilities of Reyna to their advantage, where, you know, the devs talked about Reyna has to be a fragger, if not she's useless. Yes, she gets 1 kill, but she's not like a triple kill, 4 kills into this game here, but she uses her abilities to actually support her teammates to do well as well inside B.
This
Makes
is different,
such
though.
a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, 2 players now towards Hookah. You got that Reyna as well, like you mentioned, with that dismiss ability. We've seen Caboose use it time and time again as Win does get a trade back here. Still a 4 versus 4. Mame with that operator posted up towards long. You talked about that operator instead being towards Hookah. Mame's been a menace over towards long. Recon bolt goes in, but Effie's through the smoke. One tap onto Mame. Akis has got to do everything on this flank once more. He's done it before. Can he do it again, though, with a player in his line of sight? The trigger discipline not there, and that might cost him his life. It will indeed.
Right.
They readjust easily enough as Win, unrelenting with that operator, gets the triple, backs away through the teleporter, and now it's just on to Caboose. 1 versus 3, alone and rotating now. He's got it all to do, and it doesn't look like it's going to be possible here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that crunch was such a good attempt by the side of TT. I mean, it's something that worked out for them here. We'll get back to that one a little bit later here. Right now, we have a completely different round in our hands. Unfortunately, Caboose, despite his best interests, despite his best efforts, I should actually say here, will go down after using that intangible, but it's all for naught. He got the information, but not quite the shots as well. But, I mean, just to go back to that point real quick, TT, they pulled off that kind of crunch before. You saw it, originally it was over towards Hookah, where they managed to have, you know, players actually pushing from behind with that, but now it's over towards Long. And, you know, despite the good response from Akis, he unfortunately was not ready for the double stack over by the teleporter, led to his inevitable demise and a 7-5 scoreline. So, not
I
terrible.
think that's what it is too, because he kind of contradicted of what I said as, oh, Counter-Strike players are so patient when we were playing the game. But I guess with the time remaining, he was like, oh my god, maybe they've already tried to push inside the site and I could get a kill, because when he looked up on that hallway, he didn't see anybody else. But then again, nobody was really turning around. He was just afraid he was going to get turned around in 180 to one-shot it right away. So that kind of gave that round into GMD's favor, but it could have been a lot easier there for Terrific together. But now we're going to switch sides. It is going to still be the lead here for Gen.g, 7-5, as they take the defender side this time. And we'll see if... sorry. It's 7-5 for TT as they take the attacker side this time, and Gen.g is going to be on defender, so we'll see what's going to happen with that now.
Nice little paint shell as well. It missed, I thought, but no, it actually does a lot of damage. GMD even won off of the satchel. Detonates it at the perfect moment, but there's a great response from Terrific together. 2 kills right off the bat to respond. Gen.g have this lead, and they're still trying to hold on, even if by a threat. Akis gets another one back here. It's looking really good for the side of Terrific together. Locking down this site at the moment. It's going to be difficult for Gen.g to find their entrance back onto it. The spike down, and in what seems to be an impossible 2 versus 4. They have a really strong setup going for them. Win will kick things off with 1, though. There's an opportunity given. The shock dart doesn't come to much, at least, and the shock dart again will try and do some damage, but again, nothing really comes to fruition. Evis has that wall, though. This is huge, but I think there's a tiny bit of a gap here. Akis can pop up above the KZ. Kills. Akis with the triple, 8-5. They're right back into it. Terrific together. The pistol round acquired, and they're right back on it.
2 mistakes: a gap in the wall, and also being able to jump on from the boxes of short A. A great job from Akis there, using the KZ skills to be able to get those kills, as you mentioned here, Ethan. So a great job to be able to take that retake and at least a defuse too. So it was still a nice attempt. I was reading the chat at the same time too. A lot of people are going for that debate of how things are being played so far here on this map. Like, this game really just officially came out 2 weeks ago, guys. So at that point, you're still trying to develop to see how the meta is going to develop towards bind. Before it was one player playing towards B, a stack towards A, 2 and 3 towards A, vice versa. Then a lot of pressure towards Hookah. Now you see a lot less pressure towards Hookah. We still need a couple of rounds, a couple of tournaments to see what's going to be the real defaults right now. But this is actually good for us to evolve with the strategies as we're seeing as before our eyes. It unfolds before our eyes.
Yeah. I remember way back when in like the first opening beta tournaments, Kieran, we were there as well. It's like we saw bind and it was just one site alone in that B bomb site. So I mean now you see 3 players there, Mame with that operator in the last half. So yeah, the meta has really changed a lot, and it's interesting to see how much more it'll develop. We do have the buys though, however. It's a strong buy for both these teams in a big round for Gen.g if they want to continue their winning ways and go undefeated in the playoffs.
This is also a pretty big round. Caboose, is he going to buy armor? He's getting dangerously close to the timer. He's no armor? Okay. Well, it looks like he wants to go into this one dry here. No armor.
He can get a kill, heal, and overheal too, right? So
that's true.
Maybe he's confident in that sense.
Kind of seems a little bit more like a win more kind of situation, you know? Simply just find 1 kill, and then you'll sound like you're in a much better place. You're totally right, though. I mean, that's an advantage of Reyna. If there's anyone who can do it, it is Caboose, but he's already put down to 61 points of health here. That is not exactly the greatest of signs, but it's still early on in this round. 3 players
Yeah.
committed over towards B, I think is probably the most interesting thing to note at the moment, because slowly but surely, TT are starting to swarm up, and gather up
Ooh.
over towards the safe site, beginning an exec.
Oh, Calypso? What is this Molotov? I imagine it's got to be some cheeky one, probably towards those boxes. That's a perfect aim from that camera as well. It's cleared? I don't even know where it's cleared. Instead, it's towards
close
the front. Maybe, I have no idea, but it doesn't really matter because a Lear straight
what?
in the face of Win. He's evaded it by all means, and he even does more with a double kill. Beautifully done by Win. Lear in his face, but he's not phased. GMD, that gives him a chance to aggress and get that opening kill into Mame, as now the retake is on, but the spike even yet to go down. Calypso has to evade this satchel here. I'm not sure if he'll take any damage. Thankfully, he doesn't, but still, just directly to his right, GMD waits with the raise, and he's going to peek into it. Beautifully done from Calypso. Baits out the peek from GMD, and FNS, he's tucked tail and runs straight towards that B. Bombs, and the rotations are in. It's so nail-bitingly close as player 1 with a Molotov to try and hold them back. It's Iron Fight and Iron. What is going on? That's beautiful. Fire, and I say drop it on top of him. 9-6. What a clutch made by them.
I think this whole round was nothing but timing. First off, I just wanted to talk quickly about that Caboose in Aegis. So Caboose moved forward. He didn't buy any armor. He kind of doubled up with a healer at least, right? So if they're able to double up and get a kill, a Nord comes up, he could overheal and get some armor. At this point, they didn't get a kill. He got damaged, but at least a healer is close to him, so that Sage could actually heal him up, and Aegis tops him off, and then they could try to exec. Then after that, it's all about timing. He tried to go for a Lear to take control of you. Little did they know, Huynh was just waiting right at the entrance, and he was able to surprise them after that. And then that timing that you saw towards that end of the round, it was just when they rotated from the teleporter with the time left, they didn't know that the defenders were still just halfway inside the defender spawn. So it was just easier for them to rotate back and get those kills with the fire and ice, as you guys mentioned. So Kieran, take this round here as we get the first kill.
I still am just having flashbacks there. That was so beautifully played by Gen.g towards the end. Like, this game is so new. I can't believe that they have already so many amazing set pieces for that exact scenario, that default plant. That Molotov ice combo would not have worked if they're, planting anywhere else but default. But, time was of the essence there, so I needed to get it down ASAP. Probably didn't have time to think about that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, Gen.g, it would have been more of an upset if they somehow managed to lose that. Was a 4 versus 2. That being said, they're not going to go down without fighting here into this round here. Full Sheriff buy, pistols across the board from TT. It's just going to be mostly one-sided. Michael has actually managed to find 2, and Calypso somehow has responded decently enough. But yeah, I mean, that kind of the expected result right there. Gen.g, that was freaky.
You ate that satchel, unfortunately. Down to 7 HP. Killed after that. I mean, pistol round, pistol save. You just tried to move inside the side and put luck on your side. Lady luck at least. You got picked earlier on, too, from Huynh, I think, with that Guardian from that Heaven sign. So you're giving you're telling a little bit of where you're going to execute with the save, and they kind of knew. So they didn't really have to rotate many people over. And they just knew that against pistol, it was an easy win there. So nothing more to say. Just a garbage round to get the economy back for Terrific together, and hopefully here they could come back into this game.
That was 2 big rounds already that they've picked up. Gen.g, it's not over just yet. This defending side is rock solid as Win with that Guardian. Another one-tap headshot to the same player, I believe. Calypso was the one to fall in the prior round, and he does so again here. FNS backs away, but Caboose catches player 1 with his aggressiveness. Oh, he doubles down. He pushes right back through that smoke. He wants more. He's out here for seconds, and he's hungry like the shark that he is. FNS boosted up on top. The rocket from GMD, though, does do damage. The satchel not going to be able to do any damage in the afterlife. And now with 2 versus 3, they have that revive available as well, and they're over towards at a bomb site. Gen.g suffocated by the blaze of Terrific together. They're back over towards A. The spike will go down. Caboose has delayed them long enough, and it will be the round for Terrific together. Double digits acquired against the gods themselves, Gen.g.
Oh, Lord, what can you even say there? Caboose just was on one. It was brilliantly played. I mean, that 3K, surely that's just like a ticket to victory right there. But on top of that, they really had to rub salt in the wound, rub lemon juice in the wound right there to rotate the bomb all the way over to A, just to make things even more impossible for that lone Sova. So yeah, Huynh will be saving his gun for a rainy day, but the forecast is looking, honestly, it's It's looking pretty sunny for Gen.g. Even if they save this gun, they have a little bit of a buffer. You know, there's still a little ways to go before this game is closed out by TT, and Gen.g is one hell of a team. I honestly, this is far from over.
Yeah, I think what they'll want at that point too is if they do actually have that economy, as we'll see once we get into this next round, is he going to get a buy here from one of his teammates to actually get an operator? So he drops that from that Phantom right away, and there you go. He does have the operator that was bought, and now they could reassess back and reassert assurance on this attacker side, utilizing Huynh, on the defender side, utilizing Huynh here to hold his sight towards this A heaven that he's been really good with. He's been stuck with Guardians to actually watch it at the beginning, and he was able to do so. So now at least with an operator, I think he could actually help the team hold up towards this A side, and they could really focus again on keeping that stack towards B. But so far, Terrific together, it's a whole different type of attack that they've been doing versus their opponents. Their opponents always went towards B with a lot of pressure towards B long. These guys are just splitting our defaults quite often, trying to look for pushes first, utilizing the camera to look up towards long B, and then try to reassess back towards the A site. So once they go for these execute towards A, they're still winning these. It gets close, actually, but you could see the different types of play styles that you have on the attacker side for both of these teams on this map.
We'll see what they have and what playstyle they want to go for this one. It does look like it's just one of those standard A executions, another APC plant, but something to note is that Sage is not...
Again.
Another
Second
drone
time this
meets
map.
drone. Robot meets robot, and they engage. But the orbital strike, even the Hunter, that is a beautiful combination. Win almost with that second kill as well. He spotted it, and he even adjusts with that operator. This is just a slaughter. We're walking into the slaughterhouse, and we've got the cow on the table. As Terrific together, they walk on in and they don't walk on out. It's going to be Gen.g's round in 8th. What a beautiful combination of that orbital strike on Hunter's Fury. Mame has his operator, but he's been quiet so far. 1 kill to his name in this round, but how many more can he collect? It's empty-handed for Terrific together. That was just spectacular from Gen.g.
I think his goal at this point has to be don't look for any more kills. Brilliant from Gen.g. Could not have been more perfect if he timed it. Another one of those cases where that felt so practiced. I mean, this is a team that has been together since day one of this game, you know, playing together, and you know that's how they've gotten the results that they have so far in pretty much all these tournaments, and why they're signed to such a prestigious org like Gen.g. Right there, that set piece looked absolutely brilliant, and Alex, I think we're just the ones bearing witness to it.
Dude, I had nothing to say about that. I mean, we've all witnessed it, as you just mentioned here, Kieran. Just an orbital strike mixed with a Hunter's Fury. Just so the orbital strike basically forces them to move forward or backward. You can't really go left or right into the cubby. So you're just basically in a tight niche, which gives a chance right now for Huynh to get the Hunter's Fury and just go for straight arrow shots. But he got only 1 kill out of that, expecting the first tag that he got, that his second opponent was moving inside you. So it was just a great reaction shot that he had, moving in with the operator for his quick scope for that kill onto Caboose. So just 2 abilities, 2 ultimates that just won that round there for Gen.g. So for TT's perspective, at least that's 2 quote-unquote wasted. Hopefully they could turn it back around here on the attacker side, because they do have an orbital strike on their side. This time.
Oh, Caboose, he's even in the smokes. Is he going to do it again to
Like
them?
this.
Surely not, Caboose. 2 players to his left. He's known to clear these angles.
Oh.
The wall goes up. That's so well timed, but Caboose isn't phased by at all. Caboose doubles down 2 kills just like that. Wipe them off the face of the earth because they're gone from this world. Caboose is unreal. The double entry once more, and just like that, the Sage gone, and we're in a 5 versus 3 with the Sage revive still available for the side of Terrific together.
I don't think it's actually quite over just yet. You see the rotations are coming through. There's aggression from GMD. There's still somehow a chance for them to make this one work here. Keep an eye on the Cypher and also the Sova. Both of them have actually a real decent chance. They're actually going to be going for the double fake. Oh God, their brains are so wrinkly. Michael, sure he's going to get the kill, but I mean, it's just the double fake over to the B execute. Oh my God, Cypher's going to have a nightmare. Oh my Lord, Caboose, please stop making yourself look so flashy. He eventually gets taken down, but he has to pull off his best Spoon impression while doing it here. There's barely any time on the clock. Michael's done it! Michael's done it! Oh my God, no, there's no time! No way is
Last
time.
second.
Oh my God, 0.7 seconds. It couldn't be closer again. No rest! What are you doing?
Oh my God.
What the hell was that?
Dude. I've seen Mikael as a Cypher just destroying it on 3Ks, 4Ks, solo hold sites, but I haven't seen him retake like he did there before. First off, I gotta commend Caboose that's somehow still able to show a tiny bunny hop into the B bomb site to actually throw his defender off and almost whiff the shot onto the spike carrier that could have turned that round around. But my oh my is Mikael, he was so good into that one. We tried to go for a bait res at the same time too, and he played it smart. You're playing against a seasoned player now. You're signed by Tiger Nation. There's no reason why he's going to wait for that res first and try to wait for that Sage to just kill him. So I just got to say, Mikael, what a play on that retake. And he keeps Gen.g alive into this fight. And Finesse and company right now, I don't know if they're going to be on a buy at this point. I forgot to look at my screen because that was so amazing. Yes, indeed they are. They are in a save. So this is looking good for Gen.g just from that clutch to put it back to a 10-10 scoreline.
Revealing area.
An insane round to possibly pull off an insane comeback. Remember, they were down 7-5 at the half, even down 5-0 at the very beginning. To battle this hard to get to this point where you're in touch and distance of that equalizing point, Gen.g, this is so close. Terrific together. They were dominating this in the first time they met, and Caboose narrowly evades death. Dismiss he will. He continues that aggression. Calypso with a second from that orbital strike. Caboose, unreal and untangible. He's too much for this world, and Win needed to get an opening kill here. There's a player in his sights, but obscured by the smoke. I don't think he realizes just yet. We're in a 5 versus 3 alpha, but thrifty round for this attacking side. What is going on? There's no ultimates at the ready for this defending side. Gen.g are scraping by in this round. They have to say there's nothing more you can say. 11-9, terrific together. Pull it off with just pistols of all things.
Yeah, but they had a Reyna, dude.
They had Caboose is what you mean.
Yeah. No, for sure. And sorry, Kieran, I was probably cutting you there on your thoughts, but I just love it. It came down to getting a kill, using a dismiss, and from the dismiss, you're able to get the information as you're being shot from J, right? From elbow. That means that there's at least one guaranteed player. Little did they know that there was actually 2 players in there. And from that call, he calls his teammate Calypso to put the ultimate of Brimstone, the orbital strike into that hole to get that kill onto that Sage, and to just open up the site wide open there for them to just get that plant. So just a great job for them to win with pistols, putting Gen.g back with their tails between their legs and forced to go on at least a gun round because they're able to save 3 guns on that last one so they could rebuy for their teammates. But this is a crucial round for both of these teams right now in this first map.
There's no rules to the game. A thrifty round, absolutely flawless for TT. Now we're going to see some incredibly early aggression from the defenders. 3 players dedicated over towards long to try to take a fight. I still can't get over. I'm still riding the high of these last 2 rounds. I can't believe they have just completely been upset. First at 3 versus 5 converted the other way because Michael just was absolutely on one, and then a full thrifty victory. Now a bit of a slower pace, and I like it. I like the switch up here. I think it's well worth it to try to grind out slowly that match point, putting themselves up to 12 and being able to force that map number 3 in this grand final. They've already put on one hell of a show. A result that I think was a lot better than most of us expected, whether you're watching at home or the ones actually talking about the game. It's already way better than their first foray versus Gen.g, and now they're only 2 away from closing this, or from putting this out on map number 3. Solely, an execute is again beginning, and I feel like I'm going to become the Joker yet again.
Mikael already with 1, he gets the second, dances around those triple boxes, and what do you know? He's not got 3, but he's got 4 kills. It's one man standing. Mikael may as well take the ace, take the reins, take the ropes. He's all on his own, and he doesn't need the help of his teammates. The Sova alone in this situation. Mame, he's been dominant with the operator before, but again, he's been in this position so many times. With 13 seconds left, there's surely no chance. It's again the flip-flop of these rounds. The tug-of-war continues. We're 10-11. Once more with 1 round between these 2 teams. They're inseparable at this point in time.
Oh, you could see that they wanted to give him the ace there, at least for Gen.g at that point, but I told you guys, Mikael, he could hold sights on his own, and that's just him dancing around boxes to get some kills. I mean, you could throw the perfect execution, but what's missing is probably that Lear that could have blinded him there, because they don't really have any other agents in that roster for TT to be able to blind up towards the site, and you have to throw that deep, and the Lear doesn't have that much of a reach. so they have to go in with guns blazing and try to win that fight against Cypher. But Mikhailo just danced it around quite well to just single-handedly hold the site.
Nearly have an even game on our hands too. I mean, so I think we both actually have the same idea. I'm gonna let you get away with this one here before again I go Joker mode. God, why do I get all the crazy plays?
Well, I think if you get another crazy play, you may yourself become you're gonna start laughing hysterically because this matchup is one wild ride. It's a roller coaster. If anything, FNS tries to play this one solo towards the hookah. He wants to hold these rotations back, and there it is, a big kill as well. FNS, oh my lord, two big share of headshots, and he's drawing the rotations in as well. Player one, a sixth sense kicking in. His spider senses are tingling, and that Molotov might have just held them back even longer. It doesn't connect exactly towards that APC, but player one holds the line, but there they go back towards that B-bomb site. Terrific together, back and forth they go once more. Epi's alone, all on his own. He's got a Cypher in rotation. Mikkel was heroic in the last couple of rounds, but can he do it again? 3 players, not to mention FNS with his double share of headshot, looks and aims for more. Epis holds the angle out towards elbow. He's waiting for players to cross, but FNS, he's not taking the bait. He's ready, he's watching, and he's got a sheriff to do the damage.
Ready, willing, and able to hit these shots as well. Effie's, again, he does not falter any opportunity that he's given. Akis will have to force a kill out of him. Down into a 1 versus 2, sure, but there's no chance, absolutely zero chance there at all. I mean, Michael was just there. There's layers to that defense. Even if you took down Michael, there's still a Brimstone ready that you had to defeat. I mean, an even game is what we have on our hands here. And Alex, is this something that you think we would have actually seen heading into this game? I know we both kind of talked about the potential of this heading into it.
Yeah, I usually see Bind being a very defender-sided map, and to see the attackers of Gen.g able to pull out, what was it, 5 rounds that they had on the attacker side? So it was still going to be a tough one there for the attackers to take for Terrific together. They look good to start things off. They had a nice round with an Eagle round that they won, thanks to Caboose and to Calypso's Brimstone's ult. But when it comes to these gun rounds or the executions, there's really just that Mikael that it really can't seem to take down. So he's got to be that first to die. But he's using that Cypher to his abilities with playing safe with the camera, getting all that information first, and then using that information to his favor to get the surprise attack. Now they're going to try to focus back towards his B side, where they maybe have more luck by starting with a arrow for the owl drone, but they haven't spotted anything there.
Yeah, no real information gained. Look at Caboose, he's running low on ammo. What are you doing, my friend? You're down to your last 25 bullets. Just spraying over towards B long, doesn't get anything in. I feel like Terrific together, they're feeling a little bit stumped at this point in time. Caboose wants to kick something up like he always has been over towards B long, but in recent time, he's been stumped. There's only one player here, Mikkel. There are no rotations coming on in. This could be disastrous for the side of Gen.g. Mikkel. He's been able to do it before, but this one, in a 1 versus 4, basically alone on this A-bomb, so they have to play retake. There's nothing else they can do. Akis calls upon the wall as well. That's going to hold the rotations back even further and force all 5 of them to focus their attention towards the heavens. Obviously, they don't expect all 5, but they're assuming there has to be more than one, as they will ready themselves. 5-on-5 retake for championship point, at least for Gen.g, and Terrific together at the end of the rope. They try and get this one done. Calypso gets the first, Akis with another. Trades go back and forth, but he's managed to bring another one back here. The ultimate from Mummy doesn't find anything, does reveal the position of one, however, and there goes Caboose once more. He's unhinged and he's unattached, as there we go, 12-11. Terrific together with 1 round before they send us to split.
Yeah, they just wanted to run for trades at that point. Their execution was slightly different as they did before on the A side. Instead of getting those Brimstone smokes onto the APC and then try to control you, they actually smoked all the way towards Heaven and all the way towards Defender spawn so they could move in as a group and then just try to bring that fight to Mikael. That's what I said. He needed to die first. They wanted to bring that fight towards him. Mikael played it very passively that time, like I said before, with that camera, and he was just covered out. And like as you said here, Kieran, they had to go for a retake play, but the great thing is that they walled it up right away, so they were in great positions to go for the post-plant position. So now TT looking at map point situation here and trying to bring this into a third map. We're going to the distance and regulation.
I just can't believe it. This has been so brilliantly played by TT. I mean, sure, it felt like they're given a golden opportunity right there. The site was basically deserted with the exception of Mikael. Or, God, now you got me saying your pronunciation. Excuse me. Michael was how... Mikael. I'm not the French Canadian enough to say it like that, unfortunately. But I could contact my friend. But, you know, they're already knocked down a peg. I think that's probably the more important thing to worry about right here. That is an orbital strike that's no longer in the picture, no longer smokes, but there's still Caboose. And Caboose is one hell of a player, as we've seen so far. Unfortunately, snuffed out. That pocket rocket, now Sully got me saying that one as well, will eventually snuff out him as well. Full rotations out through the bathrooms. Bomb will make its way over towards A. Oh god, no, it's Michael again! But the rotates are quick. Look, CT. Oh,
they're coming in hot now. Mikael, he's holding the line before. Now Huynh is here as well. There goes the spike. FNS dropped, and that could be the round lost. It's still doable. 2 versus 4. Akis, he's done this before. The wall goes up. Mame, the spike is in the middle of nowhere. They need to get the opening kill over to the player Heaven, or else it's going to be disastrous. Mummy retrieves the spike, but the spam goes in. There's no kill just yet. The Hunter's Fury denies the plant. You may as well use it. There's not enough time. 10 seconds, and the spike down just by the skin of their teeth, but there they go. One by one they fall. We go the distance, so we go even further to sudden death.
Of course it is. You couldn't script it. You couldn't script it at all. This is just Valorant, man. I love Valorant, dude. It's no CS, but my god, it's pretty damn close to it. I kind of wish we could have seen an OT at this point here. Sorry, Alex.
And you got it now. You wanted the
true.
OT, you got the OT. This is sudden death going in right now. Yes, maybe OT in Counter-Strike, but you know, this is for all the marbles now, and we've seen, unfortunately, a slip coming in from TT when they were playing the attacker side, and they have to play this into sudden death. So this is going to be a very tough one. At least you have as much economy as you can from both sides evened out, and the good thing, too, is that each team only has halfway of their ultimates, which means that each player has to collect an orb, or get a spike plant, or get 3 kills, in order to activate their ultimates. So I think it's going to be an all-out battle using your abilities to your favor. And so far, at least with no ultimates on how abilities have been used, I got to give it to Caboose. That person that gets that information for the team, getting the kills, getting the leers, and helping his team getting trades into the site, I think he's going to have to be that key player. He's going to have to come up big here.
See if he does it again, though. Caboose out towards long. He's been here so many times before. It seems to be his position, the position that he loves so dearly. So many memories, so many opening doubles, so many opening kills that he's got here. He's going to try and recreate it in a round that is so crucial to terrific together. Effie's again towards elbow, holds that angle, and this time, Mikael's over towards this B bomb site. Is he ready for it? He's got the camera, hoping to spot players coming out from long. With 55 seconds left on the clock, this spike towards B, the fake has been sold, the Brimstone in rotation. There still seem to be a little bit uncertain. Calypso tagged down to 27. It's looking dicey here for these boys. And Akis, they're going to slowly but surely start to fall back away. The teleportation comes in. It's now down to Mikael. He's alongside his team in Akis, but it's down to the wire. Apologies, not Akis, it's Effie's instead. Caboose to lead the charge. The site opened up, but Mikael swings on mid, swings on wide to get the first. FNS to find another. It's player 1 that gets one off the Malta, but we're down to just 3 players on this attacking side. No HP on this Sage, no HP on the Brimstone. It's down to the wire here. Mame, the only player on 125, and not even at that 150. He's got the operator to work with, but 4 versus 3, everybody's healthy for this defending side, and it could be all over here for Terrific together.
Oh god, it's seeming an awful lot like it, Sully. They're only a couple of kills away, one of which is bleeding internally, the other of which completely caught off guard. It's Calypso versus the world. Calypso, he's gonna try to be a ninja, but unfortunately, it just is not gonna work out. Oh,
Gen.g. What a round was that, Calypso? He wanted to do it all. He wanted all the glory there. Held his trigger, but there it is, Gen.g. It was a bittersweet victory. Defeat to TSM last night in the CLG Blitz Cup. It wasn't TSM. It was the underdogs, if anything. Terrific together. What